Hi, buddy. Well, today, on this rainy day, I am going to make a yellow cake. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to frost it with vanilla frosting, and we're going to use raspberries. We're going to put raspberries in the cake. I'm talking about when it's done once we frost it. It's delicious and yummy. It's a yellow cake with raspberries. It's delicious and so yummy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a cup of water. 1 cup of water. When it's raining out, you got to find something to keep you busy. I'm telling you, folks, you got to find something to keep busy. Okay. 1/2 cup of oil. This is Duncan Hines. It's been with me for many years also. You could use a Duncan Hines. You could do a lot of stuff with different cake mixes as well. It's not really lazy. I like to make things from scratch. I do, but you sure don't want to waste food. Okay. Now, I want to add 3 eggs. I'm going to pour my bowl over in a minute. I'm going to use raspberries. It's going to be delicious, folks. I've done this before. It's really good. Add 3 eggs. We've been getting a lot of rain, folks. Last summer we were in a drought, but I'm feeling this summer it's the opposite. And when you have arthritis, folks, oh, you feel it, believe me. Here we go. Ugh. Make sure, folks, you don't get any eggshells and it can sneak. Okay, let's put this over here. I have a little thing that I call my little eggshell basket. Now, we're going to mix. And we're going to mix it. But we have to also keep this in mind, folks. We have to bake the cake. Mix, mix, mix. When I was growing up, I used to lick the cake batter, folks. I used to love it. Oh, folks, I have to honor somebody. It just cropped up today in my memories. Never lose Facebook. It's sad because without Facebook, you lose memories. Today's my second mother-in-law, Ann's birthday. I don't know what year she was born, but she was a bank teller. And, she died many years ago, Johnny's mom. And today happens to be her birthday, so I'm wishing her a happy birthday in heaven, Ann. She really liked bookkeeping. She was definitely a bookkeeper at a bank. I can tell you what she did for a living. I don't really remember what her hobbies were. I think she liked to watch television, believe it or not. That's what she enjoyed doing, watching TV. So I'm going to make this cake in honor of Ann, my second mother-in-law. I'm going to mix, mix, mix. Yeah, she came from Poland, originally from Poland, I can tell you that. I try to honor everybody I could, but sometimes, things get by you. Here we go. This is what you want to see with your batter. Okay, now, I'm going to grab my butter. I'm using parchment paper. The reason I'm using parchment paper is because cake has a history of sticking. No matter what you do, you can't do anything about it if it sticks, obviously. I'm going to get the butter smeared on the parchment paper. You don't want anything sticky, folks. You really don't. I'm trying to remember what she used to make. She didn't cook much there after I met Johnny. I don't know if she really wasn't much into cooking anymore. But she did make potato pancakes. She made something else. I can't remember what it's called offhand. Oh, she liked to go out to eat. That was something else she enjoyed doing, yes. I'm trying to make sure the parchment paper is ready for this. Okay. Now I'm going to put in the batter. I like to add just a drop of flour. We want to make sure, folks, that the cake doesn't stick. Make sure I don't get butter in here. Just to make sure. A little bit of flour. We don't need a lot of flour. Okay, we'll make sure. Some of the cake is showing in the pan. I want to make sure that's greased as well because the butter could stick there, The batter, excuse me. Here we go. Try to make sure it's an even amount. Here we go. I'm sorry about that, folks. When I was a little girl, we used to lick this all the time. Yeah, we honor everybody as we can. Comes when you happen to see something in your Facebook, memories or something. You definitely want to honor that person, Yeah, I remember she used to like to eat out. I do remember that. All right, we're going to pop this in the oven. Let me make sure everything is dry here because sometimes things can... Yeah, here we go. Pop this in the oven. We're going to bake it for about 15 minutes until it's done. At 350. We're back. Okay. I always like to honor everybody's birthday. I'm very strong about that. And today happens to be my mother-in-law Ann's birthday, so I want to honor her as well. You know, it's only right. Now, we're going to start frosting the cake. Vanilla frosting. Here we go. It's going to be delicious. You want to make sure, folks, your cake is cold. You don't want it too warm. You know what's going to happen? Your frosting would melt, and you don't want that to happen. I baked my whole life, folks. I absolutely love baking, but be careful. If it's too soft, it's going to get crumbly, so you got to be careful. It's cool enough, but it's still getting a little crumbly. I don't know why. Here we go. I have to get to the top part of it. I haven't even gotten to the top part of it yet. Here we go. You know, when you bake, you can do all kinds of things. Now, I don't remember my mother-in-law Ann baking, but, you know, probably didn't have the desire to. Her husband passed away a few years before my Johnny met me, and, you know, it doesn't surprise me. She had no desire. I'm still keeping it up, but it's different, you know. Okay. Now the raspberries. Here we go. These are fresh raspberries, folks. Make sure you wash them. There's still vegetation. Here we go. You don't wash them if you don't want to take any chances with them. Here we go. Sorry about that, folks. I left my flour jug open. That would have been a dumb thing for me to do. Oh, I'm sorry, folks. I'm decorating a cake and I'm not even showing you. Here we go. I'm sorry, folks, about that. I'm not awake yet today. I don't know what to tell you. It's tired of this rain already, folks. It's too much already. Alright, now the next part is going to be the top section. Please be careful because a cake, like anything else, can break. Here we go. Here we go. Take it very smoothly because sometimes on cakes, even in humidity can make it very rough sometimes to bake, folks. So you have to be careful. Do it as gently as you can, because the cake can split. You got to be careful. And I've seen it happen. Many years ago, I was entering a cake contest. I still remember it like it was yesterday. And the cake split in half. I was heartbroken. Oh, no. Here we go. It's just a piece of plastic. See how it got out? Here we go. You got to make sure when you get a frosting going, be careful. You don't want to break the cake. We don't want to make it. We want to make sure it doesn't look sloppy, folks. This roasting is a sloppy cake. Now, I honor everybody's birthday. I feel very funny about that. I'm very strong about that. It's sad I don't have any photos of her, however. I don't know what happened to them. They just vanished into Bolivia. I just don't know what happened to them. Here we go. I'm almost done. Almost done. I'm trying to do the sides, folks, but sometimes the cake doesn't even cooperate. You can't force it. Here we go. Now, I don't want to take a chance with it, folks. Let's just come in and do the top. Assuming like there's a cake could break, and that's it. That's the end of it. It'll come out hideous. And we don't want that to happen, folks. We really don't. All right, let me wash my hands. I'm not done yet, folks. I have one more little thing I have to do. Now, there's no pictures of her at all, which is really sad. That's one thing about Johnny I didn't agree with. She always keep pictures because, you know, the relatives can fade out. You can't help it. I'm sorry about that, folks. I gotta have to get something for this phone to hold up so you guys can see everything that I'm doing. It's frustrating. Here we go. I'm going to show you. I'm going to try to lift it up as best as I can as soon as I finish it with the raspberries. You can use strawberries too, but I prefer to use raspberries. Might as well use them all up. Why not? Why not? Okay. I'm going to try to lift it up, folks, as best as I can. And here we have a delicious yellow cake with white frosting with raspberries. It's delicious and yummy. And this is to honor my mother-in-law Ann's birthday, Johnny's mom. I don't know what year she was born. I assume she was born sometime in the early 1900s. That's all I can tell you. From Deborah Ray's Home Country Kitchen, have a great day.